Wonders shall never end. I greet you all, my wonderfully made Biafran brothers and sisters. In case this is your first time of hearing my voice or watching my page, I urge you to subscribe so that you'll be the first to get alert each time, alert or notification each time we post a new videos. Here is where we speak to you undiluted truth about everything Biafra struggle, the world, Africa, and Nigeria. So endeavor to be part of this moving train. And it will do you no harm. You keep on sharing our content or our videos or our news to other of your fellows or your family members in any group you belong. Because our videos is always enticing and it is always attracting for you to not watch alone, but to make sure you share it with every of your family members or well-wishers. My people, there is something that is happening, and when I said Igbos are the problems of themselves, I am not wrong. This one now is to tell you that I, Okute, have been hammering on this for a very long time. In fact, since I started this YouTube, or rather this media, this is what I keep on saying. But some people will quote me out of context. Also, some people will say, no. When I said Igbos don't love themselves, some people will say, no. Just say Igbo politicians don't. My brother, we all are all complicit. Let us not lie to ourselves. Make you see what thing they happen now. There is the Muslim community at FCT, like as in from Abuja, distributed too much money to all the whole Southeast governors. I repeat, from the center, they have given a very huge amount of money, all the whole Southeast governors, to build a very mighty mosques, not mosques in all their states. But the governors received the money, but simply because most of them want second term, or rather, most of them don't want their name to be on the list of those who brought Muslim in our land. Then they are using their House of Rep members, and some are using senators. Tell me now, when the outside in car, Igbo furu ego n'anya karịa onwe fa, ha furu ego n'anya karịa their freedom, ha furu ego n'anya karịa even their own family. We Igbo blood can even throw most our family members under the bus because of ego. Okay, let me just shock you now. Afamo Gene to build mosque for Anambra community. Have you ever heard that in the northern part of the country, that even a governor will build even a block rosary crusade kiosk for Christian community? Have you heard that? Instead, they are busy destroying the churches in the northern part of the country, northeast, northwest, and north central. Benue alone, under one diocese in Benue, I think Boko, 8 complete heavy churches have been destroyed by Muslim extremists. Then we are bringing them down to our southeast. Tomorrow, they will tell you now that it is outside that are doing also, it is Yoruba that are doing also, and why won't they follow the money? If a number of people allow this to happen, in fact, they have even allowed it. Is it not Chukwumacha Soludo who said that Anambra is a 98% Christians? But he don't go collect money from back, then allow Afamo Gene to build mosque in Anambra State. It will not end there. The Islamization and conquest agenda is still very much intact. Before Tinubu finishes his 8 years, you find out that 50% of Biafran land will be occupied with Muslims and mosques. Go and mark my word. That is the agenda of Muslim ticket. Don't mind that monkey that come out the other day and say, my wife is, I'm not a bigotry. My wife is a redeemed pastor or a deacon or knight. This is the agenda. Nobody is hearing from Ketima. Nobody is hearing his mouth. But he is on the ground doing all these works. Ndibo, make una wake up from that sleeping slumber before it is too late for now. Ndibo ada ha bo so mmiri ma mmiri zobe o ma mmiri jibe na o mmiri makasi afaru pa bido bo so mmiri kita mmiri aka no bo okwu They don't set us up now. If they say this guy now, we cannot build this mosque now, they will go now and destroy the remaining churches in the north. This is not a setup. Hey, you cannot build this mosque now. Hey, Nibo, they don't want anybody to build anything in their land, but they are going about building churches everywhere. They just set the Igbo people up using the few greedy idiots in that our southeast. So, again, I ask you, building a mosque in Anambra State, that is the community project, or rather the constituency project that are paying you over 250 million to 300 million naira every month. Hey, Chineke, I feel like crying for my people. I feel like shedding tears for my people. Hey. So, you are a Muslim now, eh? At this point, no hope. No hope. Just what? This one is just the start. If this one succeeds now, then other governors now will then give their constituency. They are still keeping the money. They are not yet touch the money. But they want to start from Anambra State, where they know say there is men. And if they can be able to conquer that men in Anambra State, all those billionaires who will live the lives of it doesn't concern me, then other ones are minority. Then you will see mosque will fool every local government in our land. Then because they cannot build mosque without people who worship in the mosque, then they'll begin to import them in numbers to come and worship in the mosque. In fact, they can even live in the mosque. Most of our atrocities are being committed, are being carried out from mosque. Most of the evil meetings they are doing, I can never see where people will go to church and plan evil in the church. No. But every evil that have been planned in all these Islamic states is being started from mosque. That is where after Friday prayers, they just sit down in a Kakus meeting and plan evil against every other religion or every other people. You can as well go and verify. This one is not I'm not giving, this is not an allegation or propaganda. Exactly the point. It is out there on it's out there on public domain. You can go and verify. Okay, let me see what Chukuma Soludo will say. So you can also call this one now as a setup to Soludo against his second tenor using his own brother. Chai. He here as stakeholders thank Soludo for the turn of peace, blame President General for activities of government. The same thing we are saying, Igbos are the problem of their own self. In all the whole Southeasterners, all our President General, Ohaneze Ndi Beribe, or Youth President General, or Elders President General, our kinsmen, our traditional rulers, our Igwes, our local chiefs, they are the complicit in all these crimes. Listen, let me tell you, there's no any community you enter and ask the Igwe, you will not point out the bad acts in the society, but they are shading them. In fact, they are even using their palace as where they are storing gun. Our Igwes and traditional rulers are the one who is collecting money from Fulanis. And then the Fulanis who went inside our farms and begin to destroy our farms, and we ask them, they will tell you that I will have paid your Igwe. That is what Fulani will tell you. We have already paid your Igwe. Before we enter your community, we first of all go and meet the chief head and pay. And not true. And tomorrow we begin to blame Fulanis when they have already paid for your land and everything that is in your land. So if you find them in your farm and you make noise, they will buy you because they have already paid for it through your Igwe, who will not even give you sheshe, but rather live extravagantly with his family. Igbo, on our way done. When I met Tinubu for 30 minutes, he couldn't comprehend anything. Dalong gives reason for dumping APC. Kidnapped naval officer rescued from Fulani resettlement area. Police kidnapped naval officer. Fulani resettlement area. Another explosion rocks gas facility in Rivers State. Nigeria is disintegrating. They don't know what is hitting them, not until it is too late for them. Anyway, my people, beg, let us start this news. Like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos coming here. Bella say, I don't even talk too much. Chai, Wankata. The member representing Ogbaro Federal Constituency of Anambra State, Victor Ogene, has pledged to build a central mosque for the Muslim community in Ogbaro. Ogene, who is the leader of the Labour Party caucus in the House of Representatives and chairman of the House Committee on Renewable Energy, made a promise when he joined the Muslim community to break Ramadan fast on Friday. Let me tell you again, this one is another trap again for Peter Obi, because Honorable Afam got his ticket, or rather got his mandate through Peter Obi, who is then the presidential candidate of Labour Party. So they will set him up now. If Peter Obi counter this guy now as one of his party member and tell him you cannot do that in Anambra State, the news will circulate in the whole of the north that look at somebody who is eating with Almajiris now, don't want mosque in his own state. Set up everywhere. Peter Obi. Nigeria will happen to you again for the third time. Responding to the request of the Chief Imam Abdul Oneyano for the improvement of a welfare of Muslims in Ogbaru, Ogene assured them that he will take care of them in his democracy dividend package distribution in the same manner he is doing to other people in the constituency. He said, many of you have been living here in Ogbaru for so many years. You get birth to your children here, you do your businesses here, and the constitution of our country allows any Nigerian to live any part of the country as citizens of that area. I am not for one religion. You requested for a central mosque next year. If God keeps us alive, I will help you so that you have a mosque. Again, attack the Muslim faithful to use the period of Ramadan fasting to pray for peace and prosperity in Nigeria. Prayers. Earlier in speech, Chief Imam Oneyan eulogized Ogene for coming to join them in the breaking Ramadan fast, saying that he is the first legislator in the federal constituency to identify with them during the period of their Ramadan fasting. He assured Ogene that the gesture has marked the beginning of a strong covenant between him and the Muslim faithful in the area, promising that they will not only pray for him always in the mosque, but would always support him throughout his political career. Yeah, Ramadan fasting and Fulanis are overrunning Ondo and Edo State. You can be the president of Nigeria. We are praying for you so that the sky shall never be your limit. When you people were campaigning for election, we pray to Allah for his choice to win, and you won. Your coming here today shows that Allah chose you, and you have come to thank him. Today is the 21st day in our sacred month of Ramadan. We are using Quran verses 3, 1446 to pray for you. We are going to support you in all your political career. When we make a promise in the mosque, we don't renege on it, the Islamic cleric added. Ogene had during the visit donated various food items cash to the Muslim faithful. Okay, moving forward. Ihiala stakeholders thank Soludo for the return of peace, blame President General for activities of government. Stakeholders of Ihiala in Anambra State on Sunday thanked Governor Chukwumacha Soludo for restoring peace to the community by using operatives of Agone Chamber to fight gunmen operating in the area. The stakeholders also regretted that over 100 million naira donated by indigents of the community in the diaspora to tackle insecurity has remained unaccounted for by the President General of Ihiala Progressive Union, Barrister Oke Ohagba. The stakeholders who were late to occur for a press conference by the traditional ruler of Ihiala community, Igwe Satomoso Obidiegu Oluoha the 17th, thanked Soludo for his efforts in the area of security. Ihiala, a border town with boundaries with Imo State, has for years been noted as a hotbed for insecurity, with camps harboring gunmen domiciled in the community, but the stakeholders said peace had recently returned to the community. At a press conference in Oka, the stakeholders said all effort to rid the area of gunmen has not yielded fruit until the launch of Operation Udogachi by Governor Soludo and the unveiling of a security outfit, Agone Chamber. Jude Chimezie Ngobili, member representing Ihiala 1 state constituency in the Anambra State House of Assembly, who addressed journalists, said, insecurity has been very prevalent in my community. We once agreed to hold a meeting to tackle it, but President General of Ihiala Progressive Union, Barrister Oke Ohagba, rejected it, that the only he can call a meeting of that nature. We insisted, met and agreed that a committee be set up to enforce security in Ihiala as people were being killed on a daily basis. We all agreed that village heads should ensure that they erect security gates and curfew influx of gunmen in the town. But the PG said it won't be enforced. We are happy the governor has come to our aid, at last, and he has done so much on the issue of security. Another stakeholder, chairman of Anambra Local Government Service Commission, Barrister Vincent Ezeaka, said, "We are here because we want to thank the governor for liberating us and to say no to the way the President General is handling Ihiala security." Some of the stakeholders said for the first time since 2022, they have been able to travel to their community safely without fear of being harassed by non-state actors who pose as separatists to kidnap and kill people. They lamented that over 100 million donated for security in the community was mismanaged by the President General. When Daily Post reached out to the President General, Barrister Oke Ohagba, he dismissed those who addressed the press conference as a small segment of the community who have been aligning with the separatist element to cause insecurity in Ihiala. He said, "I want you to quote me. Those people who spoke in Awka are the ones causing insecurity in Ihiala, including the government officials among them. When I have time, I will call you and furnish you with the documents to buttress my claims." When I met Tinubu for 30 minutes, he couldn't comprehend anything. Dalong gives reason for dumping APC, birds of the same feathers. Former Minister of Sports and Youth Development Solomon Dalong has revealed the reason behind his defection from the All Poverty Congress APC to the Social Democratic Party SDP, shedding light on his personal disillusionment with APC leadership and its approach to governance. In an interview with the Punch newspaper, Dalong explained how his experience with the APC, particularly in his interaction with the party's presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, led to his resignation and eventual shift to the SDP. Dalong recalled his appointment as Director of Contact and Mobilization for APC Strategic Campaign Council in 2022, a role that placed him directly in contact with Bola Tinubu. However, after 30 minutes conversation with Tinubu, Dalong said he realized that the presidential candidate was unable to comprehend much of the discussions. "I was appointed a Director of Contact and Mobilization by the All Poverty Congress presidential candidate Bola Tinubu in 2022. In the Strategic Campaign Council, I later met him for 30 minutes and I discovered that he couldn't comprehend anything from our discussion. So I warned myself that having campaigned and brought Muhammad Buhari to power, Nigerians were crying of failure. I couldn't continue with that. With the evidence before me," Dalong stated. He further explained that after this disappointment meeting, he resigned from his position on the Strategic Campaign Council, which Babaka Lawal chaired, and also resigned from the APC entirely. Having assessed the political landscape, Dalong expressed his belief that the Social Democratic Party SDP was the party that held the most promise for the future of Nigeria. After assessing all the political parties, I was convinced that SDP is the party that I would associate with because it stands to hold the future, he said. Dalong joined SDP in 2022 and contested the 2023 National Assembly election for the Langtang North and Langtang South Federal constituency. However, despite gathering substantial evidence of irregularities by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Dalong decided against going to court, expressing doubts about the possibility of achieving justice through the current legal system. "I contested the 2020 National Assembly election for Langtang North and South constituency, but when INEC did what they did, despite that I had evidence, I decided not to waste my time going to court because I was not too sure that from the drama they performed, anybody could get justice in the court," he said. Dalong also took aim at the current state of Nigeria politics, which he described as a kakistocracy, a government run by the worst individuals for their own benefit. He criticized the current system, claiming that Nigeria is no longer practicing true democracy, but instead a system that caters to the personal interest of a few at the expense of the larger population. "We are not practicing democracy, but a kakistocracy. What we have now is a government of a few for themselves, their personal interests, families, and friends, Dalong said. He welcomed those who joined the SDP, emphasizing the party's commitment to changing the political landscape and sanitizing Nigeria politics. Kidnapped naval officer found or rather rescued from Fulani resettlement area, police said. The Federal Capital Territory Police Command has confirmed the rescue of kidnapped naval officer Cynthia Ako, along with 2 civilians abducted in Mpape, Abuja. Nigeria News report that the FCT Command spokesperson SP Justin Ade, in a statement on Sunday, said Lieutenant Ako and other kidnapped victims were rescued through the collaborative efforts of police and the military. According to her, the kidnappers who attacked Maman Vasa Estate Gate and blocked Mbappe Road on March 21 demanded a ransom of 500 million naira for the naval officer and 200 million naira each for the 2 other civilians. They disclosed that the naval officer and other victims were rescued at Fulani settlement in Angwan Moazu and Yewa Hills, Nasarawa State. The command spokesperson stated that 4 suspects were arrested, while the sum of 3.2 million naira suspect to be ransom money from previous kidnapping operations was discovered from the suspects. Upon receiving the district's report, the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operation FCT Police Command DCP Isiaku Sharu, in collaboration with the military authorities, mobilized a joint operation led by the Police Command Anti-Kidnapping Unit and comprising of personnel of the Nigerian military DSS hunters and members of the local hunters group. In conclusion, the FCT Police Command urges residents to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities to the police, she said. The last but not the least, another explosion rocks gas facility in Rivers State. Barely a week after a major explosion on the Trans-Niger pipeline in Bodo, Gokana local government area of Rivers State, another blast occurred, this time at the Soku oil facility in Akuku, Turu local government area. Nigerians understand that the explosion has further heightened concerns over the security of oil infrastructures in the state. The latest explosion, confirmed by the Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, Nigeria, was reported on Sunday. The grassroots NGO, with a strong presence in the Niger Delta, disclosed that its youth volunteers had alerted the organization about the early morning blast at the Soku oil facility operated by Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas (NLNG) Limited. In a statement signed by the Executive Director of Finance, Dumamane Finance, WEAC Nigeria revealed that an explosion accompanied by fireballs was heard and seen arising from the facility. The fire is still ongoing as of the time of this report. The statement noted, however, the facility remains difficult to assess and the exact cause of the explosion is still unknown. As the investigation continues, speculations around the cause of the explosion. Possible causes mentioned include equipment failure, sabotage, or deliberate attack. This marks the 3rd such incident in oil-rich Rivers State within a week, raising serious concerns about the state's oil infrastructure security. The first explosion occurred in Ogoni, followed by another in Oba and Ebema, Ndoni local government area. These incidents were referenced by Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his nationwide broadcast on March 18, where he declared a 6-month state of emergency in Rivers State, particularly due to the repeated attacks on the region's oil infrastructure. In response to these attacks, the president suspended Governor Similaye Fubara, his deputy, and all members of the State House of Assembly, citing the governor's failure to protect oil facilities. WEAC Nigeria has called for an immediate investigation into the latest Soku explosion. The group urged the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency to conduct a joint investigation visit to determine the cause of the explosion and ensure accountability. Perpetrators of this crime must be held accountable in line with the provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. Nigeria stressed in the statement as they demanded swift action to address the escalating violence in the region. So my people, now here we go take leave on air. We're gonna dissect this one as we went inside to organize another mouth-watering news for my people in this new week. So have a nice day. May the good Lord continue to bless us all. Amen. Please like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe.